When you talk about props, you're usually talking about a weapon of some sort, whether it's a blaster, a lightsaber, or even a proton pack to fight off ghosts. But there are a few props that are just as iconic, but aren't weapons or costume pieces. For me, that prop is the Flux Capacitor.
And you fell and you hit your head on the sink, and that's when he came up with the idea for the Flux Capacitor, which is what makes time travel possible.
And when I came to, I had a revelation, a vision, a picture in my head, a picture of this. This is what makes time travel possible. The Flux Capacitor.
Flux Capacitor?
Although there have been a number of officially licensed Flux Capacitors made over the years, when it comes to props, the best ones are always made by the fans. So I reached out to Bruce Coulombe in Florida, who'd been making Fluxes and entire DeLorean time machines for years. He was offering a time travel limited edition Flux Capacitor, and it had a number of special features that I was interested in. This edition was limited only to 25 pieces, and I happened to snag number 13. It's a good thing I'm not terribly superstitious. The prop is all but identical to the Flux Capacitor in the original Back to the Future time machine. The enclosure is slightly different in that the hinge on this side is tucked away while the one in the film is exposed, but that's hardly an issue for me. It opens in the same fashion as the movie prop and has the same details on the interior components. Based on the latest photos of the recently recovered Flux Capacitor for the Back to the Future time machine restoration, it's possible and open to interpretation that the metal leads that come out of the glass tubing on Bruce's Flux might be a little too long, but again, that's subjective, and we wouldn't have known that until this year, which is 2012 summer. And this Flux was made in the first quarter. So that's a minor gripe. But what's so special about this Flux? Well, for one, Bruce has offered us a remote control. And this remote control gives you the capability to do all sorts of fun things with this Flux. You can change the speed of the fluxing.
Flux Capacitor, fluxing.
Which is cool. You have the opportunity to turn the Nrg Static Sound on and off. Yes, Bruce's Fluxes have sound effects, which is nice. So that's his Nrg Static Sound, which you can turn on and off, because if you've installed it in a car or something like that, that might get a little annoying if it's not optional. And then you can also activate the limited edition time travel sequence, which I don't know how much use I would have for that, but it's a nice option to have. This prop is at its best when just fluxing away, with or without the sound effect. The main drawback is activation. The Flux has to go through the time travel sequence, and there's no way to activate it any other way. So you have to suffer through 15 seconds of time travel noise, and that's pretty much what it is, noise. I wish the prop would simply flux when activated like it does in the film. That said, this is a beautiful prop with great build quality and excellent attention to detail. I shared some long phone conversations with Bruce, and he talked about his dedication to detail and accuracy. It really shows here. I'm still trying to find the perfect place to display it, but I haven't quite figured it out yet.
First, you turn the time circuits on. This readout tells you where you're going, this one tells you where you are, this one tells you where you were. You input your destination time on this keypad. Say you want to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence.